to the Kanika Sports Show and another week of NFL football. Can you believe it? It's week 3 already.
Yep.
I mean, I feel like we just had opening kickoff Thursday, not so very long ago, and it's now going to be the start of week 3.
Time flies.
Time flies when you're having fun or not having fun as a Bears fan. You know who else? You know who else isn't having fun, Nika? The Miami Dolphins fans, because the Dolphins also 0-2 to start the season, and they have the dubious honor of playing in tonight's Thursday night game on Amazon at Buffalo. I mean, that just sounds like punishment for their fans. As a Bears fan, I feel like we sort of have a chance to get into a shootout with the Cowboys. Like, I fully expect the Cowboys to score points, knowing the trend our defense has been going in lately and the injuries that the Bears have on defense right now. But I also feel like we can maybe put up points on the Cowboys defense because they just gave up 30-some points to the Giants, who are not really all that great. They have some weapons. We have some weapons.
Sure.
So I'm cautiously optimistic if I'm a Bears fan going into week 3. But if I'm a Dolphins fan, I mean, they probably would love to be in the Bears situation right now and be like, really? You think we got problems? Come look at what we got going down here in South Beach.
Lots of cocaine.
Well, it's time to call the Miami Vice cops and get on it. We got a clean house down in Miami. So perhaps that will come in the near future. They may not wait until the season's over. Okay. They also might trade Tyreek Hill. I keep seeing that rumor popping up.
They had issues with their quarterback.
With the concussions.
Yes.
But, I mean, that hasn't happened yet this year. They just have bad coaching and bad stuff going on. Like the rot.
Too bad.
Yeah, it's too bad. I mean, I always like the Dolphins and their colors.
Yeah, me too. And Ace Ventura. That was a great movie with the Dolphins and their mascot dolphin.
Unfortunately, they're just the butt of the joke of the league now.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
And they played the Bills.
And I feel bad things for their future. So, of course, they'll probably have some like miracle win tonight, and their whole series and season will be considered turned around. Believe it or not, there is a different reason that we are all here gathered today, and that is because, drum roll please, Tom Brady is at the center of a new NFL scandal, Nika. Go figure, believe it or not.
The man loves scandals.
Deflated balls, secret video recordings of your opponent, and now we see, this all started on Monday Night Football when an image during the game appeared of Tom Brady with a headset on inside of the Las Vegas Raiders booth, where the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and other coaching personnel were watching the game from, up above. You can see all 22 people on the field from there.
Okay.
And Tom Brady's in there with them. And it looked like when he got on camera, he kind of like ducked down a little bit, like a little turtle shell.
Oh, really? So he
kind of knew like, this isn't going to look great.
Not a good look.
Yeah. And so we're going to talk about that. And we're going to then turn our attentions to a great article from Mike Florio, who has more information on the situation because, the NFL was this was considered such a big deal. The NFL was prompted to make a statement about this, and come out and try and get ahead of what is, a conflict of interest. And we're going to explain all that and why there's a conflict of interest and why it's a big deal. And Mike Florio is not happy with the NFL. He thinks their response is weak. We're going to talk about it. We're going to read his article. And we're also going to explain how the Bears are involved because we are a Bears football sports show when it comes to the NFL side of things and our time allotment and what we're able to follow on a regular basis. But this actually involves the Bears. But first, if this is your first time here, please do us a solid and like, subscribe, and ring that bell for our mascot, Frexy. Thank you so much. She does love attention, Nika. She's a little gypsy dog.
She's a greeter and a needy dog.
Definitely. All right. Well, let's get to this story, Nika. Tom Brady, Monday Night Football. He's shown in the booth here. We all see him, and he's got a headset on. and his title is minority owner, with the Las Vegas Raiders logo in the corner. He's an owner, part owner of the Raiders. We looked it up. It's 5% is his official ownership of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Okay.
And if you also didn't know, Tom Brady is also a broadcast announcer for Fox and the NFL on Fox. And he does a marquee matchup every week on the Fox lineup of games, because Fox carries the most games, you know, and then CBS carries probably second most. And then we have Sunday Night Football on NBC and Monday Night Football on ESPN and Thursday Night Football on Amazon. Keep up if you can. Okay, so the broadcaster Fox job is why this is an issue, and this is not new. Okay, I want to point that out. But I think this is the first time everyone got to see it in reality, and it's like, oh, wait a minute. Now that I'm actually physically seeing this, it looks bad.
Well, would it be bad also if he was just on the sidelines without going to the booths, or would that be more acceptable?
Well, the problem here is not anything to do with his Raiders ownership, and it's more to do with his job as a broadcast journalist and the fact that he, as part of the Fox broadcast team, gets certain access to certain things. So that's the really big conflict of interest here, is that by allowing him into the Bears locker room, he may overhear or see things in the background, like a play written on a chalkboard or something like that. And he may not say anything like, hey, you might want to get rid of that while I'm in here. He's going to just be watching and observing and listening. He's not going to say anything. But we know Tom Brady from Deflate-Gate and from the Video-Gate that he is not afraid to use anything to his competitive edge, is he?
No, that's like insider trading.
It is. So call me crazy, but fool me once, shame on me. You fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah, I think you got that.
Yeah. Sorry. Anyway, so this is the scandal. Explained, basically, is that he's a journalist. He gets access to teams and inside their facilities and their their locker rooms per se, but like, you know, they can go to practices. They can do set up interviews on the side, and it's not so much about like what he's asking the players to divulge specifically to him, but it's just what he observes and sees with his own eyes. The journalists are the record. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
They are the matter of record, if you will. That's their job, is to see and report what they hear.
I know, but
who you report to is also a big deal. And if you're an owner of another team, so a Yahoo Sports tweet came out around the same time as this happened on Tuesday morning after Monday Night Football. And it reads, Tom Brady's double dipping as an owner broadcaster is becoming a sore spot for other NFL teams, with like the emoji smiley face. Like, I don't understand why this is really funny to Yahoo Sports, but whatever. And the quote at the bottom of the tweet says, I don't like the idea of him spending time in our building talking to everyone when we are in game plan mode. And that is attributed to an anonymous NFC executive on Tom Brady's access as a broadcaster, providing an advantage to the Raiders. Spells out the conflict pretty clearly right there. And yeah, that is a problem. So the NFL also on Tuesday decided that they needed to release a statement about this. And so this was from Tom Pelissero, who is an NFL Network analyst, and I guess doing the bidding of the NFL by tweeting out this statement from the NFL on Tom Brady. Quote, there are no policies that prohibit an owner from sitting in the coach's booth or wearing a headset during a game. Brady was sitting in the booth in his capacity as a limited partner. Okay. More. It goes on to say, two more tweets. More from the NFL. All personnel sitting in the booth must abide by policies that prohibit the use of electronic devices other than league-issued equipment, such as Microsoft Surface tablet, for the sideline viewing system. I love how they got a shameless promotion in the middle of a statement about a potential scandal brewing. That's hilarious. All right. the statement concludes, Tom continues to be prohibited from going to a team facility for practices or production meetings. He may attend production meetings remotely, but may not attend in person at the team facility or hotel. He may also conduct an interview off-site with a player like he did last year a couple of times, including for the Super Bowl. Of course, as with any production meeting with broadcast teams, it's up to the club, coach, or players to determine what they say in those sessions. So the NFL, this is what they kind of decided to handle this situation a long time ago, and they're just reiterating their statement and doubling down on it. Like we already set parameters up, and there's red tape in place, so Tom can't, go too far, basically.
They put him on a leash.
They put him on a leash, and I think that's where Mike Florio has a problem with it, is because he was first upset about this on Tuesday with the article or with the Tom Brady, being shown in the booth, and that he predicted this a long time ago that this was a big conflict of interest, and he was basically like, I told you so. But after the NFL responded on Tuesday, he was actually quite upset on Wednesday when he reacted to their statement about this, because I don't think he feels like they're taking the situation quite seriously enough.
Okay.
Anyways, here is the headline from Mike Florio's article, and it says, NFL statement on Tom Brady badly misses the point. With images of Raiders minority owner Tom Brady in the team's coaching box on Monday night sparking a long overdue debate regarding his dual role as team executive and Fox broadcaster, the NFL has issued a statement. The NFL's statement badly misses the point on Brady. And he goes on to print the statement. We're not going to reread it, but they just, the policies that prohibit them from wearing headsets and using like blah, blah, blah. We just read it. The issue isn't what Brady was or wasn't doing on Monday night. Although, as mentioned during Pro Football Talk Live, it looked like he was trying to slide under the desk in front of him once he noticed that he was on camera. This is the turtle head thing I was talking about. The issue is what Brady does on Sundays for Fox. Duh. Yeah.
Hello.
No one wants him to not be an owner of the Raiders. It's more about, and even it's exciting, I think, to have one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, if I may interject, being a coach or an advisor to another team.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. What if the Raiders become awesome because of it? Wouldn't that speak highly of Tom Brady's football knowledge and his ability to pass it on to others?
Absolutely.
Not necessarily rooting for the Raiders. However, I recognize the story and whatnot. Doesn't dismiss the journalism part of it, though. Anyways, I'm not going to read the statement that continues again here about him being prevented from going to team facilities or practices, but you remember that the league doubled down on that. And it says, and Mike Florio's article continues, that's a cop-out by the league, and it hurts you, the viewer. America's game of the week necessarily becomes weaker if the teams involved choose to say as little as possible to Brady or his colleagues. And they should say as little as possible. I think it's kind of a noble or a fake noble stance to take here, to be like, look, this is impacting Fox's coverage of the game a little bit. I don't know about that, Florio. Okay. I understand what he's saying because he loves the product and stuff, and he feels like if one of the lead analysts for the game isn't given access to the team like another lead analyst would because he's an owner of a team, it's weakening the product. Okay, that's a roundabout argument to make, but I mean, we'll see. People might just like Tom Brady enough to tune in anyway.
Yeah, and he's a familiar face. People always gravitate towards familiar. You've seen Tom Brady how many times on Sunday Night Football?
And as fair as that is, I do feel like his next part of the article, though, is valid and genuine because he's kind of taking a lawyer stance here.
Sure.
And he said, when he said they should say as little as possible, it continues. It worked for former Raiders running back Marshawn Lynch. I'm just here so I don't get fined, end quote, became his standard response during league-mandated media sessions. That should be the response to every question posted by Tom Brady or anyone else on his crew. Anyone else on his crew?
He has a crew?
I guess.
Why?
But
Well,
I mean, like
okay.
I guess he's talking about production assistants, grips, lighting personnel. Who
Camera.
knows? Yeah,
Yeah.
camera operator. I guess everyone could be, signing this NDA or whatever Mike Florio's insinuating here. If the teams instead say something while saying nothing, the Brady broadcast becomes devoid of true insight, which is exactly what it should be for every Brady game. It's stupid for any team to approach the situation any other way, and it's pathetic for the NFL to allow this situation to exist. Here's hoping that one or more teams will do the right thing in advance of the March annual meetings and propose this rule change. Tom Brady must pick a lane. So that's the article from Mike Florio, and I kind of got to agree with him at the end of this. I think it's time for some, obviously with this NFC anonymous executive, other people recognize this as a problem that they don't want to deal with. Like they don't want to look at their calendar and be like, well, week 12, we can't have Fox and talk to the media
Right.
because Brady's going to be here, and we can't talk to their camera guy, and we can't watch out for their grip in the background guy. Like you don't want to be having
It's just
spy
too much.
games going on in
Yeah.
the middle of your damn practices while you're preparing to play actual football. So this isn't, espionage. This isn't MI5. This is not Mission Impossible. Okay, Brady. That would be funny. A skit of Brady playing Mission Impossible. Like, how are we going to steal the secrets this week, guys?
Does he have a Brady bunch with him?
The Brady Bunch, Mission Impossible. Great mashup. I think we should make the tic-tac-toe heads.
Yeah.
With Brady in the middle, and then you
watch
can have his
out.
camera guy who's secretly listening in on meetings in the other room.
Yeah,
and
perfect.
wiretaps, and it's all a fake operation. Oh man, hilarious. No, this isn't changing this season. So the teams are gonna have to, definitely be
tight-lipped.
aware of it. And it is a problem in my view.
Yeah.
I think Tom Brady should pick a lane here. And if you want to be 5% owner of the Raiders, great. As I said
for you.
earlier, I applaud this. I want this to happen. I think it's good for the NFL. But we don't need to hear your bad analysis on Fox because he's not really that good of a broadcaster.
He's not. And on top of it, if you put journalist next to his name, that makes zero sense. He's not a journalist. He might be a broadcaster at this point, but he's not a journalist.
He's not. He's better as a podcast guest when other people are
Exactly.
asking him questions and he's explaining things about the NFL, like the fact that he said recently that most NFL coaching staffs are bad at their jobs. And, that should be an alarm bell to NFL owners.
Right. That's where his place should be. Not
That's a
the suit
great
and tie.
commentary for the game that the game needs right now from somebody that wants to be brutally honest. Okay, great. Awesome.
ESPN too with Peyton Manning and his brother Eli had him on their show for Monday Night Football, and he was great.
Yeah.
Because you get insider chatter that you hear from the locker room, and that's what people tune in, not suit and tie. Tom Brady on the
How do you
sidelines.
feel?
Come on.
Hey, Tom, how did you feel when you were playing us all those years?
Do you remember?
Well, Peyton, thanks for asking. I felt a tremendous sense of pride playing against a great player like you. These manufactured BS questions. That's what makes the Eli Manning and Peyton Manning show so successful is the fact that it's authentic and they're just yapping like two guys in the bar, with
And that's
the
what
game
people
on
want.
and observing what they're seeing. Like, hey, man, that reminds me of that time I played you. And remember that shit? That was so fun.
Exactly.
And that's what people want to see. That's what they don't understand.
Yeah.
And the NFL is better off with that analysis with Tom Brady in it, not this manufactured TV, old school, the old way, conform.
Move on.
Tom Brady should not be a conformist. You should not be wanting to be a Fox TV analyst. You're better than that.
Yes.
You're a trendsetter, TB12. We're going to talk about that in a second because, damn it, this hit the Bears right smack dab in the face, Nika. Our beloved Bears. Why? Well, let's see here. Oh, the Bears are playing the Cowboys this weekend. It is the NFL Fox game of the week, and therefore the Tom Brady team is coming to Chi-Town, baby. They are invading the Windy City in late September, mid to late September. The Cowboys are coming to town. They're 1-1 thanks to their field goal kicker. Man, what a leg he has. Now, no word if he can kick outside in windy conditions. So we'll have to wait and see how things look on Sunday when the weather forecast comes out. You can't trust those Chicago forecasts right now. You got to wait until like 12 hours before the time, and then maybe it has a 50% chance of being accurate.
Even in the desert. That's sad.
Well, we had desert rain this morning, everybody. All right, well, but back to the matter at hand here. Brady's calling the Bears game, and, of course, the Chicago media, they got a hold of this. They asked Ben Johnson about this. Are you concerned about Tom Brady coming to town this week? Here's what Ben Johnson said. Quote, this is a tweet from Sports Illustrated, by the way, so thank you to them for making this graphic. Quote, there's not going to be any trade secrets that are going to be exchanged. I just really don't think it's that big of a deal. Bears head coach Ben Johnson on Tom Brady's role with Fox and the Raiders. So for what it's worth, Bears head coach Ben Johnson, who I am liking more and more week to week. We will be talking more about the Bears matchup against the Cowboys tomorrow and some of the things that the head coach had to say, but basically calling out his players for not practicing good enough this week. And I love that in a head coach. And I know that he's the right man for the job. I know Tom Brady wanted him to be the Raiders coach, and that makes me happy. That knowing that what we just said about Tom Brady and he's up there in the coach's booth. He wanted that to be Ben Johnson on the other end of the microphone,
No, he has a chance to talk to him now, but
maybe. I don't know how forthright Ben Johnson's going to be, but Tom Brady actually responded to Ben Johnson's statement saying on his Instagram, "Thank you for some common sense. Finally, a smart coach speaks up." And
he was being politically correct.
That whole thing is attributed to Sports Illustrated. Ben Johnson being politically correct, says Nika. You beat me to it. I was going to ask you, is Ben Johnson being naive here, or is he? You think he's just playing NFL politics? Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I think he's probably not happy about the situation. I think as soon as the cameras and microphones are turned off and the media people are out of here, he turns around to his team and he's like, not one effing word to Tom Brady. Yep. If you see his eyeballs, you let me know. I want to know.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So
it's a politically correct statement. You can't change anything about it.
And it is crazy that the spy games are going on in the background here. It's so fun to think about, right? I also want to point out Caleb has a relationship with Tom Brady already. Even before any of this ever started, he came out and said he contacted Tom Brady and he started eating like him and doing the TB12 lifestyle, Nika. And this happened before the first ever Bears rookie mini camp with Eberflus last year. So he has an existing relationship with Tom Brady. I would not be shocked if Caleb Williams meets Tom Brady at a hotel in downtown Chicago and just talks to him about playing quarterback. And God knows what the hell the dumb kid is going to say to him when the cameras are off. God help us. Ben Johnson, go with him. Go with him and hold his hand and put him in handcuffs and be like, yeah, you can do the interview, but I'm going to be sitting next to you.
So Caleb needs a chaperone.
Yeah. Maybe he needs a chaperone, an inside man on the other side. Somebody that can wear an earpiece and be like, I want to know what Brady's asking him. I want to know what Brady's saying when the cameras aren't rolling. I want it all.
Real spy games.
Yeah.
All right.
We're going to send you into a dangerous situation to extract information.
Perfect. Let's go.
I love it. All right. You love it. Let's go. Bears, Cowboys this Sunday. Brady on the mic. We'll be back tomorrow with the actual game breakdown. This was the spy games breakdown.
We're not making predictions.
We're not doing predictions today. We'll do predictions tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching, and let us know your thoughts on all of this. Do you agree with Ben Johnson that folks are making too much of this, or do you agree with Florio and the anonymous executive that the NFL needs to do something about this sooner than later? I am definitely thinking they need to do something about it, but I don't think anything's going to happen now. And I do think Ben Johnson is playing politics with the media. And just next question, can we talk about football, please? Because he doesn't really give a rat's ass either.